Welcome to Cackling in the Void.
My name's Ashley.
And my name is Kaylee.
Let's see if the void echoes back today.
Well, welcome back. This is...
Episode 4?
Yes.
Yeah, wow.
Episode 4, and we are doing chapters 11 through 15 today.
Yes, and we also have a special guest.
Yes, we have a special guest named Kaya, our longest of dragons.
Yes. She's the sweetest as well.
Ooh, I'm gonna tell Eclipse. Ooh.
Maybe next episode.
I know.
We can say she's not the sweetest.
Ooh.
Oh. The Eclipse is also one of the sweetest creatures.
It's a lie, Kaya. You are the sweetest. It's been aired.
I love you, my darling. It does seem like I don't, but I do.
Ooh.
I do! I love her so much! Ask Kaylee.
Mm-hmm, sure, uh-huh.
I'm obsessed with that dog.
Yeah, well, you know. It's Kaya's day.
It is Kaya's day. It's her day to shine. And she is. She's doing great. Look at her just snoozing.
She is the sleepiest of all the bugs.
She really is. Anyway, so we're here to talk about the book.
Yes,
even though we really could
about the book.
Talk about our dogs literally all day, every day.
All day. All day, every day.
Yeah.
Constantly. Could never change. I'll never give them up.
No. Never, never. No matter how many health issues they have.
Yeah. I mean, that's a you experience.
That is me experience.
It is a you and Eclipse experience only, probably.
Yeah, my dog is
allergic to life.
Literally allergic to life. Yes. Yes. It's quite an issue. But it's okay. She's dealing with it and has special food.
Mm-hmm. Special food. Anyway, back to, the book and dragons.
Yes, because we meet dragons.
Yeah, we meet dragons in this section, and I'm more than
so
what
happy.
we have, and that's why I'm very excited to get into this. So, chapter 11, we start out basically where they're... Obviously, Dane really wants her to go into the scribe quadrant still, and is still trying to convince her regardless of where we're at. He just loves throwing it in. He's like, hey, it's so great to see you. I love you so much. But also we should get you back in the library.
No hesitation about him.
Absolutely
and
not.
He really doesn't like how she's changing.
Yeah.
Like she she's changing how she's acting because she is in the writer's quadrant. So she needs to change. Like she needs to be stronger and everything. And he's like, why are you changing? Yeah. And he doesn't like it.
I think he is struggling with the idea of her becoming independent from him.
An independent woman.
And maybe not following every single rule that,
Oh no, an independent woman.
Society has told her that she needs to follow.
That was a good one. I'm so sorry.
And you see her as she's going to the gauntlet now.
Yeah.
And she's thinking about what Xaden said to her at the end of, chapter 10. The right way isn't the only way.
Yeah.
Like the way that you follow the rules isn't the only way to follow the rules almost.
Yeah.
And to like kind of encourage her to like break out and try something maybe that she hasn't anticipated, because the last chapter in chapter 10 she was just so discouraged about it and was like, I'm not going to make it up. Like,
I'm too short, I'm too weak, like how am I going to do it? And then like the words like, hey, like you just said, the right way isn't the only way, like really stuck with her, and it's like, oh my god, wow, I could do things differently.
Yeah. And then like also just the fact that Dane turns around and is doing the polar opposite of what Xaden was doing and encouraging her to do, is no, you need to fit into this bubble that society has made for you, and you need to be the person that I think that you should be.
Yes.
Which is very
Dane.
Interesting.
Very Dane thing to
say.
It
is. It's very Dane. So, they're making it up to the gauntlet, and, this is where her big choice happens. Is she going to do the different thing, or is she going to plummet to her death?
And, understandably so, she chooses a different thing.
What? She doesn't want to plummet to her death?
I'm surprised she doesn't. But she actually doesn't. And she uses one of her daggers and, into the wall on the final stretch, like the 90-foot wall. She shoves it into the wall.
There you go.
And uses that to, help herself up.
Yeah, which is so interesting that she thought about it or even was willing to do it because it is, according
illegal.
According to the codex, could be illegal.
Yeah.
And then, when her squad mates see her do this, you hear on the sideline, Riddick being like, hell yeah, and then
Reed's like, yeah, that's our girl.
Yeah,
they're just so hyping her up for it because they knew they were struggling. And they're like, look at her, she did it, and they're just so happy.
Yeah, and it's just so fun to see that they were just excited to see one of their classmates or their squad mates, succeed in a different way because I'm sure that they also were very prepared to just be like, there she goes. Oh, okay, bye. She fought. Bye. Have a good time.
We'll see you with Malik.
Soon. Goodbye.
Yeah. So they're really proud of her. Like, oh my god. I don't think they expected her to do it.
Yeah, no, not at all. And especially because that was something that, I didn't even know I don't even think that she knew that she was going to make it. And I think that was something that was also surprising that she, had this grand plan and then just didn't practice it and came up with it at the last second and was like, let's just, if I'm going to die, I might as well die with style, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, hey, I've tried every other thing. Let's just try this. If it doesn't work, and I'll meet the same fate no matter what.
Yeah.
So,
so I think that's just so fun to see the dynamic of her squad mates being like, oh yeah, let's go. And then when she gets up, to give her name saying that she made the gauntlet, I laugh because
oh my god.
No, I laugh just because the way that she describes this, Amber, the girl who's taking the names, is so funny because she's just it's very well known that Amber used to be Dane's friend, his special friend last year.
Very clearly, they have hooked up.
They were
for
fucking,
sure. Yeah,
for sure.
And no hesitation about it.
and then now that Violet came back into the picture within this year, I don't know if Dane has approached this girl.
Yeah.
To be quite honest.
There could be a lot of jealousy there.
Yeah, I was I don't think Dane has. I think Dane is a little busy being wow, Violet is my childhood best friend, and I don't know how I feel because it's weird and I'm a boy and I'm sweaty. And,
You're not wrong. But, she's upset about she cheated, she can't do that, blah, 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 and, she's very much a rule follower like Dane, so it makes sense of why they got together. Yeah,
why they got together in the first place. And then, she openly is like, oh, the codex says this, and then I love that Violet is, in and of her, one of, the core parts of her being is that she is a scribe. And I love how she quotes the codex back to her and says, actually, anything I carried across on my person over the parapet is now a part of me.
Yeah.
And it says that you can only cross the gauntlet as, yourself and what is a part of you. And so because I
cross the parapet with this dagger, it
is now part of me. And so it is actually, it's not illegal. So, and then how she's just Amber just hurls it as an insult at her, ugh, you're such a scribe,
yeah, and it's not an insult at all.
Yeah.
How dare someone be smart?
Yeah, but it's also like, it's so funny that she yells that as an insult back at Violet when she's just like, well, actually, part of the codex says, like, you can't use any, like, thing that isn't part of you. And then, you know, Violet throwing her own medicine back at her, and then now all of a sudden she's like upset that, you know, somebody would follow the rules.
Like, how dare she know what she's talking about?
Yeah.
Because only I should know the codex.
Yeah, or like the only like, oh, I'm just like the smartest one here, so of course you would forget part of the codex. You know, you wouldn't be as like versed in it as I am.
Yeah.
You know, which I think is so fun. Just
it's fun to see the dynamic. Again, going back to the dynamics in this book are very good. Just like how the characters interact seem very realistic.
Yeah. And then, you know, just everybody being so proud of her, like, regardless of them.
So proud.
Like, literally, she climbs up the parapet. Sorry, the gauntlet. We're not at the parapet anymore. She climbs up the gauntlet, you know, they're all, like, proud. She basically, like, gets... I don't know.
Every time, bro. I'm not tired. But, like, every single time, I yawn.
That's what she keeps saying, everybody.
She's not tired.
She'll say it every time. I'm not tired. I'm not tired. And I'm like, okay. As you're yawning and you look like you're going to cry because you need to be put down for a nap. Like, okay.
Every time.
You know, maybe it's Kaya. She's making you sleepy.
She's warming up my feet.
I mean, yeah, she will.
It feels quite nice.
You know. I agree, Kaya.
You made me move.
Anyway, back to what we were actually talking about.
So sorry.
You know, her friends are just so proud of her, and like I like the little picture that we get, like with her like rejoining like her squad mates and them like patting her on the back and just like really trying to encourage her.
Like, hey, like we really like how you did it too.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, hey, like you don't have to do it in the traditional way. You can do it non-traditionally.
Yeah, like you don't have to be exactly like us.
Yeah, like you could follow what Xaden said.
Exactly.
And I do obviously think that was like oh.
Yeah.
Like I can trust him. Like he yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it was the
I could trust him, but it was like, oh, like how interesting he's helping me type of thing. Yeah, and that's kind of what I meant. Not that I could trust him, but like, oh, like
yeah. Because I was like, wow, some person gives you life advice once, and you're like, I can trust them forever and all time. No. Wow, that's really trusting of you. Let's talk about that. Actually, that mentality is very interesting, and we need to talk about that for a second. Because I was like.
No.
I must be a horrible person because no.
I no. That like it was like, oh, how interesting, like how he helped me, and like, oh, maybe he doesn't want to fully kill me, like you know, like oh, how interesting, because her whole mindset is, oh, he's gonna murder me, I just don't know when. So how interesting that he's helping her.
Yeah,
in her mind.
That is true. So you know, we'll see. And you know, I just thought it was like fun how he encouraged her and how her friends encourage her and how
we love it.
You know,
we're here for it. I'm here for supportive friends.
Yes. and we love that. So, you know, I mean, honestly, that was like a very short chapter.
It really was.
In terms of what we want to talk about. I'm sure that there's so many other things that we could talk about within the chapter, just specifically about the Gauntlet crossing, but I think we're ready to move on.
Yeah,
because we got more meaty things to discuss.
And then we're very excited to discuss in these 5 groups. Like, this was a good...
Yeah.
Okay, so after the first 5, which again, the first 5 were actually very hooking. Like, she did a great job with the first 5, but now that we're kind of getting into the bulk of the book, it's getting a lot more like, ooh, I'm really excited to talk about these things.
Yeah, I think like that part is going to be so fun. So you want to take it away on our next chapter?
Sure. So, you know, they make it up, and 169 of them make it out, and Violet Squad was number 11 out of 36 to make it up. And now after the Gauntlet, they start walking through the Veil. which is where you kind of get the dragon. You get to see the dragons and stuff, but it really is the dragons get to see you.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, I want to kill that one. I want to bond that one. It's the dragons kind of deciding, ooh, where do I want to go? Who do I want to be with? Do I want to bond this year?
Yeah, and like it's really interesting, like when they start this journey, like one of the teachers say, like, hey, talk to each other, and they're like, I love Riddick, first of all. He's like, well, how are you doing? And then the teacher's like, not to me, dumbass. Talk to other people around you. And then it's the question of, oh, well, why do we need to do that? And she's like, so that the dragons can get a sense of your character and who you are.
Yeah. And it's obviously important because you don't want to be burned alive.
Yeah.
So very much show like who you are. And if you think who you are is a good person, then hopefully the dragons do too. Type of thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting when you talk about like being a good person and whether or not dragons want to bond a good person. I think we'll touch on that later because that's a later point because I would love to talk more. I would love to talk more about that.
I agree.
But you know, I also think it's so interesting when they first go out how the row, because you know they're walking single file, and how the rows are. So you know, the first person we see like that's closest to her that she can talk is this guy named Tynan.
Yes.
And
who is part of her squad.
Yeah, who is part of her squad, but still
not a part of like the main.
An asshole.
Yeah.
Like, you know, regardless, I think that especially like in these things, you can tell he's kind of an asshole because as they're like walking, you know, it's Tynan, her, and then Ree is behind her. He's like looking at the dragons and like, well, I can't look at their tails, so I don't know like what they are or how to describe them, and like, and she's like, well, it doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal that we can't tell what kind they are, and he's like, well, I need to know to figure out who I want to approach during threshing.
Yeah, and it's very much that is not really how it works. As you see in threshing, that's not how it works. You just kind of know what dragon is yours.
Yeah.
Which is wild and wild.
I mean, I honestly feel like the dragons already chose.
Yes.
Like, during, like, this time, like, I think, like, they already chose, like, who was...
I agree.
...going to be with who and things like that. And, you know, like, as they're going and they're seeing more and more dragons, just, like, Ree's anxiety building.
Yes, Ree's anxiety really...
anxiety's building.
And, like, the whole group as well. Like, the whole group, but mainly Ree is focused on and, like, how her anxiety's getting worse. And Violet, like, just kind of starts talking with her. It's like, oh, like, how's your family? And, like, they talk about, like, little facts and things just because Violet knows that calms her down. So she's like, hey, let me help my friend. And it does work. It starts to calm her down because she was talking and, like, kind of thinking about other things. And helped ground her.
Yeah, like, specifically about her family. I love it when, like, Violet was like, oh, hey, like, do you know what the gender of the baby your sister's gonna have? And she's like, why are we talking about this right now? And, you know, Violet just doesn't let up and is like, this is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
You know? I also think that she kind of knew that is one of the ways that Ree could show off a very specific side of her personality that you may not get to see every day. Like, through their everyday conversations and things like that. So I thought that was also, like, a sweet thing to do.
It was her more vulnerable when we don't normally see her too vulnerable because she is a very fierce, independent woman.
And then, you know, as they, like, walk through the Vale... and they're all talking and they're like looking at more and more dragons, you know, and like we're all trying to like calm each other down, you know, the conversation shifts to, you know, obviously people's families and things like that. And I just want to read it because it's funny. I agree. First of all, I will probably never agree with him again. But I will agree with one thing that Tynan said.
Oh!
I will agree with one thing that Tynan said in chapter 12.
I'm so sorry.
I know. It was rude of her, right? Yeah, you're right. We should just lay back down. He says, where is it? I'm like trying to like look and see. I loved this one.
I know what you're talking about.
Because Ree like casually mentions like, because we're not allowed to talk to our family. She says, "Do you don't think that it encourage loyalty to the wing?" Ree says that to Violet, like in terms of not talking to them.
Yeah.
And Violet says very like ballsily, if that's an adjective. I hope it is. I think I'm just loyal to my sister, whether or not I've gotten a letter from her. There are bonds that cannot be broken. And then Tynan says, I'd be loyal to your sister too. She's one hell of a writer, and that ass. And I'm like, yeah, Tynan, I would also. The moment he said that, I was like, you know what? Tynan makes some really good points, and I would also be loyal to Mira, because
you love Mira.
She's one hell of a writer, and that ass though. Just the, he goes on. He's like, man, I saw her at Parapet before we crossed, and I was like, damn, she's really hot. And I was like, okay, sir, I agree. I agree. It was worth it. But I just thought that was so interesting. But they actually did talk about, the idea of, not being able to talk to your family, and whether or not they think that it does encourage loyalty to the wing and not just your family.
Yeah. But
I love how Violet, one of her like biggest morals is like her loved ones matter to her, and it's very apparent. So. It's also like apparent like her loved ones matter to her, but not only that, her loved ones like thoughts and feelings towards her matter, because before they like walked in, she was nervous to see Dane because she doesn't know how he's gonna react about hearing that she
is not described,
cheated at the gauntlet in a way.
Really nervous, and it's kind of sad because she was like, oh, like, he might be upset. Like, I really wouldn't be surprised because I did bend the rules. Like, he's going to be upset with me.
Yeah.
But she's like, but I'm so proud of myself. Like,
yeah, but I'm so proud of myself that I got up here. And, all of her friends are too. And to be quite honest, I think Mira would be too.
Oh, 100%.
I think Mira would 110% be like, yeah, that's my little sister, bitches.
Yeah, she would.
And I always like find that funny, but also Mira's hot and I love her.
We do love Mira. She's such a bold personality.
Yeah.
We love her.
But then also, I appreciate that other characters in this book can recognize that she's hot.
Yes. Yes. And I like also like they just blatantly say it in this book.
Oh yeah.
Like there's a lot of books that are like, look how pretty
she's
her
so
hair
beautiful,
is.
And her hair glistens in the wind, and her eyes sparkle like the waters of, Mount Everest flowing down the creek and all this stuff. And this book is like, nah, she's hot.
Again, very realistic interactions.
We don't need all that flowery shit. She's just fucking hot.
And they do the same thing with Zayden. They do the same thing.
Yeah,
with,
they do. They do.
Attractive people in the book.
Yeah, everybody else.
They do it with everybody.
Yeah.
Like it's just they're hot.
They're hot. It's cool.
I find them attractive. Wow. I'm horny. So
yeah,
very much that's the book.
And then as like they're walking through, they find out that a baby Feathertail is going to bond, and they see them in the line, and it's so interesting to see like how they react.
Yeah. And Ree and Riddick are arguing if the Golden Feathertail is a baby or not, because it's very well known that dragon babies you never see. Like, no human has ever seen a baby dragon. So it is very...
Well, no human alive.
Yes, no human alive has seen a baby. And so it's trying to figure out, like, oh, is it a baby? And they kind of conclude, no, it's an adult. Because we would all be dead if this was a baby.
Yeah, and the fact that, like, they really don't think that she could... Like, that the other dragons would even, like, let her bond because she is a baby and stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, that goes back to them, you know, being nervous because Tynan openly says, like, hey, if this is a baby, we should definitely kill this baby because we don't want, you know, a squad mate to bond a baby dragon because they're defenseless and they're the most docile and they won't fight in a war.
Yeah, and no one can fly on them.
Yeah,
like,
they're too small.
They're too small
to be ridden. It's just, it's not going to work out.
Again, going back to that, like, oh, this is the weakest link.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to see how it, like, does that within dragons as well. Like, it's not just riders, it's also dragons and stuff like that, which is very interesting.
Yeah, that they decide, like, oh, who can and can't bond, like, depending on, you know, your size and your shape and who you are and you know, things like that. And, you know, trying to steer clear from that conversation, Violet, I think, does a great job of just trying to be like, hey, first of all, we should never talk about killing a dragon because... We're
literally surrounded by them. Like,
yeah,
why are you mentioning this? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like, do you want all of us to die? Like,
yeah, like, what is your goal here, man?
Yeah, I was like, are you that dumb? Like, what's happening?
They don't know how not to be dumb.
Yeah, seriously. And then, you know...
Then, you know, on the way back, they start talking about folklores. That were actually mentioned in the first chapter when they were packing.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting.
Yeah.
To hear.
Violet was raised on them.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the books that Mira took from her pack. Like, you can't have this. And she says, but Dad gave me this book, and it's a book of fairy tales to them.
Yeah. And it's like Ree knows them, and like everybody kind of knows them, and it's about, you know, these venin and wyvern that channel from the ground.
Yeah. And then, you know, Ree kind of mentions, like, she's like, oh, did your mom use them as like one of those like scared tactics?
Yeah, like
to make us behave and
yeah,
things
like the
that. Like
thing under your bed, like the monster under your bed type of thing that we have. Mm-hmm. Or the monster in your closet or something. It's like, oh, did your mom use that as things that like to scare you?
Yeah.
And Violet says, my dad used to read me those fables every night, and I seriously asked him one time if Mom was going to turn venom because she could channel. Yeah.
Yeah, and then she like asks, like, in clarification to that, like, oh, did he say that they turned venom because
they only channeled directly from the source?
Yeah, directly from the source.
And he did, but it was after my mom had already had a really long night that we were stationed near the eastern border, and her eyes were bloodshot red, so I freaked out and started shrieking. And she took her book away for a month because the outpost guards came running, and I was hiding behind my brother, who couldn't stop laughing. And it was a mess.
Yeah, and it's funny that, like, one of the biggest punishments that she got was, like, getting her books taken away, you know?
Yep. Like I would be very sad if my books were taken away.
Yeah, and then, like, Ree, like, openly saying, like, oh, like, that's so cool that you guys had a book about it, because the only stories that we know about these things are things that, like, my mom told us. Like, we don't have a book. Like,
yeah. Isn't that interesting?
Like, I've never seen a book of these fables. I just know, like, word of mouth that have been, like, passed down, like, from my parents and things like that.
Yeah, it's very interesting in how, like, she has a book and others don't.
Yeah. But also, you know, that could just be the case of she was raised at Beth Skyeth. You know, her mom's a general, her dad was a scribe, and worked in the library, and so of course that they would have access to more and better books than everybody else, especially Ree, who came from a border town.
That is true.
Came from like a poor family in a border town, and they don't have much out there.
Yeah, they just
so.
Yeah, and I do think it is cool though. Even though she came from there, she knew the stories. Like it's very much a word of mouth type of thing.
Yeah, and then they're talking like to their other squad mate Pryor, who's just like, this sounds so dumb. Like, why are we talking about this? Like, this all like sounds like super made up. And they're like, well, didn't your parents ever tell you these fairy tales?
Yeah.
And Pryor's like, no. We don't fucking tell stories, Like, very much you're dumb for even trying to, like, bring up something, like, from your childhood right now.
Yeah, like, how dumb of you to be having a conversation about something that's, like, not real. Like, how dumb.
Yeah, and then it just kind of ends, like, that interaction with, Pryor being set on fire. Just, like, dies, like, right after that, like, very shortly after, like, they finish doing that. And, just the fact that Ree is scared because, like, Pryor was technically in front of her, and now Ree has to step over that body that's just been burned, and that, like, psychological, what are we doing now? Because if we, stray off the path, something bad could happen. If we, but
we don't want to step on a dead body that was literally just burned.
Yeah, but then also it's, like, the idea of, like, oh, if I do that, am I lessening their life? Like the meaning of their life, almost.
Yeah. And a lot of these characters do have respect for other characters. Like, it's...
Yeah.
That would be hard
respect
to do.
for death.
Yeah.
Which is understandable because it's so prevalent in their society, you know?
And then sorry, we got so quiet. And then they are leaving the Vale, and then two green dragons come over and start sniffing Violet very intensely. And Violet is like, what the fuck is happening? And Ree's like, what the fuck is happening? And everybody's like, what the fuck is happening? It's a good way to describe it. And then V's like, oh, I'm fine, like, it's okay. And then she's like, oh, like, it's the dragon scales, like, they're sniffing tiny on me.
But she only says that to Ree because nobody else nobody knows that she has the dragon scale armor on, because that was one of the things that Mira said, keep this a secret. Don't tell anybody that you have this, and always keep it on.
Yes.
Like, never, like, don't ever sleep without this. Always keep this on. Like, this could, really save you.
Yeah, and she wears it under her clothes every day.
Yeah, and I love that she told Ree that why the green dragons could have been smelling her, because, early on in the chapter when it came to, like, crossing the gauntlet, Ree was a little hurt that she didn't tell her about the plan and things like that. And she was like, hey, like, Violet is just like, well, you don't have to protect me. And she's like, I'm not trying, like, you don't need me to protect you, but we're friends and this is what we do.
Yes.
And so, when you need help and I can provide that help, you should ask me.
Yeah. And then Violet kind of was like, oh, like, deal, but you're right. But only if you promise the same thing back.
Yeah.
Like, this is a two-way street. This isn't a one-way street.
Yeah, which I really enjoyed.
I do. And I think it also, she got so frustrated about being protected because that's all Dane is doing.
Yeah.
Literally I can't.
Yeah, that is all Dane is doing, and that's also, like, all of her whole life, like, being raised as a scribe, like, to study, like, to go into the scribe quadrant because everybody around you thought you were too weak or too fragile. And then you have Dane, who's your childhood, like, crush, who you're, like, in love with and spend a lot of time with, and you're like, wow, he's so hot, and he's still, like, telling you that you're not enough and you're not good enough, and that idea is just, like, weighing on her, I think, a lot.
Yeah, and that would be so hard. That sounds really hard. I'd hate to be put in a bubble like that.
Yeah, it doesn't seem fun or, like, necessarily super I don't know, conducive for her to grow. Almost, you know?
Yeah.
But also, like, Xaden says that openly, like, you know.
Like, hey, you're not, like, you need to do less protecting and more teaching. Like, you're not going to grow if
and
you
also,
stay in that
you're going to watch her die if you don't do this, you know? I think, like, that's a big thing.
That is a huge thing. Like, if she's not learning, she's literally going to die. Like, that's how this school is. You need to learn, and you need to get stronger, or you will die.
Yeah, and so it's like, you know, now that they've crossed the gauntlet, this is, like, now they're ready to go to threshing. And that's, like, where we see chapter 13 start is just October 1st is threshing.
Yeah.
And now
and it's
we get
always
to see them
on October 1st.
Yeah, they said regardless of what day that it lands on, it's always October 1st. And then that gets us into the, you know,
threshing.
Yeah, into threshing and to see where we're going, to see what dragons they get to meet and who and
and
things
she
like that.
You know, as she's walking through threshing, she meets a few dragons and she's just like, I don't know how, but I know that's not my dragon. I need to leave. Because they could very easily be burned here.
Yeah, but like, especially approaching like a dragon that it doesn't want to be approached by you.
Yeah.
You know, like they openly say that, like they are still prey and they could be killed.
Yes.
So, you know.
Yeah, and so she's just walking around and then she overhears Jack Barlow.
Surprise, surprise.
Tynan, thank you. And Orin, about talking about going to find and kill the feathertail that just flew overhead.
Yeah, the golden dragon.
The feathertail. Yeah, and they're like, oh, we need to kill it because it's the weakest link. Tying back to like, oh, the weakest link, no matter dragon nor person needs to die.
Yeah, and it is interesting that Jack really, you know, stands on this moral of the weakest link needs to die now, and it's better to die now than to be, you know, in a battle and then like be killed because they can't hold their own.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, it's kind of like if they are killed in a battle while we're all fighting, if one goes down, we're all gonna go down.
Yeah, but yes, also that, but it's also like the idea of I don't even think that he wanted them to make it to battle.
No,
you know?
Absolutely not.
Like he just didn't think like it would even work out. So like, you know, the fact that him and his friends are like, yeah, let's go kill this dragon is crazy, especially when they're, you know, they're surrounded by so many other dragons. So
it is wild. This man is wild. Again, full all of the time. Always so bold.
Yeah, always so bold.
So much energy.
Like, he really does, you know, stand on his value of...
Yeah, he does.
You know, the weakest link must die now, and better to die now than to get me killed. You know?
Yeah.
That is, like, one of the biggest things, too. Like, better them die now than to actually get into the situation where they can kill me and I end up dying either for them or whatever, you know?
Yeah. And then so Violet ends up finding the golden dragon first and is trying to shoo it away and it's not leaving and she's like, why am I trying to shoo away a dragon? This is kind of dumb.
Yeah, I think like it's like the idea of like your first instinct is to go like run up with your like arms waving and like
leave,
like
please.
go get out of here and you know.
Get out of here. Yeah. So then she's trying to get him away, and then the three men come out and are like, ooh, look, we can kill both of them at the same time. This is gonna be fun. And Jack is like, this is great. I'm so excited. And we're all just like,
yeah. Because Jack really is like, actually, this works out really perfectly. We might as well kill both of them off now. We can handle both of the weakest links at one time.
Yeah, it's like, 2 against 1, technically 3 against 1.
Yeah, but like the idea, like Jack was like so excited about it. It's, you know, the same idea of like, you know, killing 2 birds with 1 stone, and that's what the situation presented itself as. And he was just over the moon about the prospect of this, you know.
Yeah, and then at the end of that chapter, there's a slight rustling and Xaden is there.
I'm sorry. I think we should just say, and Xaden comes out of the shadows.
Oh.
The shadows of the trees, and he's just there all of a sudden.
All of a sudden, Xaden is there.
It's the way that Violet talks about Xaden in her head.
Funny.
Is so funny. I am just like...
I'm so sorry, Kaya.
There are some times where in her head, for some reason, when she talks about Xaden, he is always shirtless and he's always covered in water. Because, like, the way that she describes him.
Yeah, like, the last paragraph, Xaden is leaning against a tree, his arms folded across his chest, and behind him, watching with narrow golden eyes, her fangs exposed, is Sigale, his terrifying blue dagger tail. Yes.
Yeah. And that, you know, Xaden didn't come alone. Sigale is there with him, and... You know, they were warned in class, like, if you see Sigale without her rider, you should probably turn tail and run.
Yeah, she is ruthless. She is
dangerous. She just does whatever the hell she wants, whenever the hell she wants.
Yes,
you know?
Like, she doesn't follow, like, Dragon Law. Like, she just do what she wants. Like you just said, like, do what she wants when she wants. So that brings us into another 2 short chapters this time.
I mean, they actually really were. They were, like, some of the shortest chapters that... like, are probably in the book, I think.
They really are. So that brings us into chapter 14. The fight began, but now it's, like, really picking up. But before we kind of get into that, the beginning excerpt of 14, again, I found quite interesting. So I'm going to read that out loud. Okay. Mind you, I'm not good at reading, but it's okay. In the 6 centuries of recorded dragon... I've already messed up. In the recorded history of dragon and rider, there have been hundreds of known cases where a dragon simply cannot emotionally recover from the loss of their bonded rider. This can happen where the bond is particularly strong, and in 3 documented cases, even cause the ultimate death of the dragon.
Yeah.
Which I think is really interesting.
I mean, it's also, like, so interesting to hear that, because I really do feel like it sheds a little bit more of a light on the dragon's character, saying that they can bond to a human so much.
Yeah, like they're fire-breathing, ruthless, fearless dragons. They still have emotions, and they still get those connections. And
and that they can still love something and someone so, like, so fiercely that, you know, grief can kill people. It's really it's a big thing. Actually.
Big thing.
But also, you know, the idea of like you said, these ruthless, fierce creatures loving something so much that's so, you know, insignificant to their lifespan and to who they are.
Yeah, because they live for hundreds of years. Like,
don't worry, Kaya, I'd die for you. She probably wouldn't die for me, though. It's okay, though.
Would Eclipse die for me?
Probably, yes. She would pass away instantly, immediately. She would actually scream first. She would see your body, your lifeless body, scream, and then die.
You don't think Kaya would do that?
No, I don't. I think Kaya would come over, sniff me, lay down, take a nap, wake up, walk away, come back, lay down for a while, keep sleeping, and then be like, all right, well, I guess you're not getting up, and then go and cuddle somebody else. So, yeah, no, I don't think that she would really care. Am I wrong, though?
No.
That Kaya would be like, she's smelling a little weird now. Better go cuddle somebody else.
I like your Eclipse would scream.
She would. Eclipse would scream. She would scream, and then she would die. Just midstream.
She wouldn't even make it to my body. She would just die.
Yeah. Probably, yeah.
She'd be on her way to come to my body. But she would die.
Yeah.
She's too obsessed with me. It's okay. The first word of the next chapter is Xaden. In italics.
I mean, Xaden.
For the first time, the sight of him fills my chest with hope.
I'm sure. Okay.
He won't let this happen. He might hate me, but he's a wing leader, and I can't. And he can't just watch them kill a dragon.
Yeah, I mean, that's also, like, a big thing is, like, I don't think anybody could watch somebody just kill a dragon.
No,
like that,
then also like the consciousness of like on your head, and then also what are the dragons gonna think when? I'm so sorry. What are the dragons gonna think when they find out you were there and didn't stop it?
Yeah,
like you're gonna be dead no matter what.
Yeah, and
like,
so,
and especially like like rare dragons like a feathertail, like the dragons will not be happy if any of their kind is killed.
Yeah, and I just think also it's just so fun to like see Xaden and how like he like comes out literally from the shadows of the trees and is like, hey, maybe you should rethink what you're thinking about doing. Like, just like a casual like casual advice, like, hey, maybe we should rethink this and not kill this dragon currently. And just like them, also knowing the codex and being like, you can't interfere. Like during threshing.
Yeah, they know. They're like, well, you can't do anything, so
yeah, like the higher
I guess I'll just continue doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, because like the higher ups can't interfere.
No, they can't.
Regardless, they cannot interfere because threshing needs to happen naturally, and whoever dies.
Yeah.
So it is funny to hear them say that, and Xaden is like, well, you should reconsider.
Yeah, please but reconsider. But he can't do anything.
Yeah, and it seems like he's really not going to do anything at all.
Yeah, he's just kind of there, like, well,
he's just there, and he's just like, all right, guys. Well, I guess if that's what you're gonna do, then
yeah. And it's also like he does mention. Oh wow, I didn't realize it was like so quick into the chapter. Like I flipped the page. I didn't. Anyway.
Yeah, it's just like right there. Like it's.
Oh, that's why I skipped a page. Oh,
okay.
Shit.
Here we go, struggling. Let's go.
For those that are listening to audios, I can't flip books, pages,
or read,
or read. And so they do continue trying to kill both Violet and the dragon. Yeah, and they're like trying to circle her. And Violet does realize that she's like, dude, just fight back with me. Like, if we're gonna die, let's at least die together. We're on the same team. And she's like, you don't have claws. Like, they're paws, not claws.
Yeah, like, she looks at this dragon and is like, all right, well, then, I guess, like, me and this yellow, like, the yellow feathertail are gonna fight together. And she's like, all right, like, looking around, looking at the arsenal of weapons that she has and what this dragon brings to the table and the fact that they're just fluffy little paws. And I'm like, oh my goodness. When I heard this description, I don't know why, but I immediately thought of, have you ever seen a cat that like loafs really hard and like their little paws stick out from underneath them and like they just look so baby soft and like you just really want to touch their paws, but it's a cat and you probably should not touch their paws depending on the cat that you have or the cat that you see. Most cats don't like their paws touched. And I was just like, oh, little kitty paws. Little soft little kitty paws.
I agree.
Oh, that's so cute. But also, at the same time, damn, Violet, you're kind of fucked.
Like, you're gonna die. Sorry, bro.
Like,
yeah. And so,
good luck, kid.
And so they start circling her. And she takes her daggers and throws one at Jack, and hits him right in the shoulder, and he's like, you ruined my shoulder. And she was like, yeah, like, fun fact, having to live in pain and, like, knowing how joints work, the thing is about having weak joints is you always know exactly where to strike. Yeah,
which I thought was like, wow, what a bold thing to say.
Yeah.
Especially to somebody who's like been openly outwardly trying to kill you.
Yeah, like,
and hates your guts and tries to humiliate you every like second that he gets. And she, I love that she's like, oh, like you may think that I'm so weak and all this stuff, but like this also like builds my knowledge in other ways.
Yeah, she knows anatomy probably better than a lot of people.
Yes, I'm sure. I also think that it helps with just the idea of, I'm sure that it helps her fight.
Yes.
Yes,
and
be more strategic.
And so he ends up saying, like, hey, like, go kill her. And then he just runs away.
Yeah, he leaves.
Just runs back into the tree line, opposite direction, is like, nah, man, I can't do anything now.
Yeah, like, I mean, honestly, though, I kind of understand that, because, like, if your shoulder's fucked at that point...
Yeah, like, what are you gonna do?
But also, like, and you rely on brute strength, number one. Number two, you haven't bonded a dragon yet. So you're either going to die from a shoulder injury because you stayed there and you fought too long, or you could go bond a dragon and have a higher chance of survival, you know, or you could die by a dragon and be bleeding out at the same time.
Yeah.
And so I do think, like, looking at those options, he was like, actually, I think it'd be best if I
leave.
Bowed out at this time, even though I want to kill that dragon.
Yeah, like, hey, like, I can't do anything. What am I gonna do?
Yeah.
And so then they continue fighting. Tynan gets stabbed from Violet.
Mm-hmm. But she ends up knocking out the third guy first, Oren first, and then stabbing Tynan.
Yes, and then Xaden shouts behind you as Oren's sword is held very high. And Tynan yelled, "You can't interfere." Yeah. Like, hey, like, you can't interfere. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
like,
at least let's fucking kill her.
Yeah. Like... And then he says, "No, but I can narrate."
I love that he's, like, very... Like, he's just, like, so nonchalant about it. He's like, yeah, you're right. Like, I'm not gonna physically interfere, but nothing said that I couldn't say anything. Like, nothing says that I couldn't talk to, like, the air. Like, nothing said that I couldn't say that. Yeah. You know?
She looks like a worm.
She is the longest dragon.
She's so long.
The longest.
And with the biggest paws.
See, look. And Darna's mitts. These. Just like that. So big. She's like, please stop. Leave me alone.
It's
stop.
Really
Leave
funny.
me alone, mother.
Stop touching my paws.
I know.
But it's also really interesting. Her front paws are bigger than her back paws.
Well, yeah.
Is that normal?
For bassets, yeah.
Okay.
It's quite normal.
Sorry, I don't know too much about bassets. I know I'm an awful auntie.
Rude!
I know!
She's naturally beautiful and she's made like that and she's supposed to look like this.
She is gorgeous.
You are. You're beautiful with the biggest of paws.
Look at her freckles. Oh, she's the cutest.
I know. Okay.
Anyway, so sorry. So then, and so then, they're continue fighting. Oren's knocked out. Tynan is stabbed. And then, right as it looks like they're gonna get like a final kill on Violet.
Yeah, that Tynan is gonna actually
get it. Mm-hmm. Xaden does take one step.
Yeah, she says, like, oh, I sensed something out of the corner of my eye, and he must have taken a step forward. And then I feel this gust of wind on my back. Mm-hmm. And
I cannot find it.
I look up, and
there's the big black dragon. Yeah. The big black dragon that did not want to bond is here.
Yep, the big black dragon.
And he says, "Step aside, Silver One."
Yeah, I love that he calls her that.
I do. I really like the nickname. He's a very nicknamey guy.
Yes, very much so.
Like, did you want to look at something? Because you're looking at this book like you're.
Oh,
there's a quote you want to.
I was just making sure that you were doing okay.
No, I'm doing good.
Because you're like, oh, I can't find it.
And
I'm like,
can't.
I think it's up here.
Oh, it is. You marked it.
Wow. Hence why I was looking, because I was like, I marked it. I think she's just not getting it. So, yeah.
So, well, now we're going to back up, like, a couple of paragraphs. And,
I guess I didn't mark it well enough.
No, I flipped the pages. I can be organized sometimes. So it says, just as Tynan reaches up to his two-handed sword, preparing for a killing blow. I can catch a glimpse of movement to my right. It's Xaden, and rules be damned, he steps forward as though he intends to stop Tynan from killing me.
I mean, that's kind of crazy.
It is, but I also do like when she says, and rules be damned. He takes that step.
Well, yeah, because, like, I do think, like, that is, like, one of the first things that he did that was, like, for Violet, that showed her that he is willing to break the rules for anybody. Mm-hmm. Not just, obviously, like, the children of the rebels and, like, the children that hold relics and, like, that are from his village. Because, the technically meeting in more than a group of 3 is, punishable by death, and that is illegal. But the fact that he was willing to put his life on the line to maybe save somebody that
he wants dead.
Yeah, he wants dead. And to save somebody that, if he did do, more than a step, he could have been reported back and then stripped of his rank and then still murdered. Yeah. And then what would happen to his dragon? Things like that.
Yep. And also, like, she's so used to Dane, who's like, nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Never.
Yeah, so used to Dane, who, is such a rule follower that I think, is hard when you follow the rules your whole life to break that habit, though.
Yes, I agree. And again, he just leaves so much in his soul that the rules are going to keep her safe when they're not.
You never know. They really could. The rules could make her safe.
There's a window right there. You should take a nice glimpse outside with the screen off.
Yeah, I was like, are you going to open the window or am I going to do it through the glass? Because first of all, Ashley, I don't think you could push me out a window, even if the window was open. Number 2, I know for a fact there's no way you're going to be able to push me through a window and it being closed. Like, a closed window. I know that for a fact you couldn't.
No.
The open window, probably most likely not as well, but I would love to see you try.
Do it.
Let's do it. All right, guys.
I know, we're going to pause, and then we're going to... So then the Black Dragon comes, and he says to step aside, Silver One, and then she's like, wait, did you speak to me? Mm-hmm. I'm confused. And then he's like, yes, you, move.
Yeah, because I think also, like, another reason why she's so confused, like, when he first talks to her is the idea of, the rule, you're not supposed to talk to any human that is not your bonded human.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And she realizes that he's talking through her head. Like, he's not talking out loud. Only she can hear him. And he burns Tynan alive.
Yeah, he just, like, launches back and he shoots a thing of fire through the woods and Tynan dies. Yeah. Which, I mean, rightfully so.
He was trying to kill her.
Well, yeah, not only was he trying to kill Violet, but, like, trying to still kill the...
Golden Dragon.
Yeah, the Golden Dragon.
Who literally has no self-preservation.
Yeah, the feather tail that really just is like, yeah, I'm gonna hang out here, la-da-da-da, la-da-da-da.
Literally.
Let's watch these humans fight. That's so cool.
Wow. And then Taryn is like, oh, like, you should kill Orin. Like, the one at your feet, you should kill him.
Yeah.
And she was like, no. I do not want to kill an unconscious man. And then he's like, well, he would kill you. And she's like, and this is one of my favorite lines, well, that's a statement on his character, not mine.
Yeah, which I think is, like, such a powerful statement for Violet to say.
It is. It really is. Because as we've seen with Jack, with Tynan, with Orin, with, like, tons of these characters, they're willing to kill. And she's, like, she at first didn't want to kill, but she knows that she's going to have to at some point. But it is, like, I don't want to kill an unconscious man. And, like, that's on my character, not his. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then you could say the next one, because I know you really like those lines. We have so many of Taryn's lines written down just because it's so good.
Taryn is one of my favorites. And I love it because, she's obviously, she just fought and everything like that. And then just like very considerately, like he says it like so gently too. You're bleeding. Stop it. I love that he, like, Taryn is just like do not do that. That's weird. Stop doing that right now.
Yeah. What is this liquid coming out of you?
And then he's like, oh, your hands are bonded to, like, are bound to, do you bleed often? Just like very much like, do you bleed often? Because you're bleeding and you need to stop that. And also like, do you bleed often?
He is quite confused.
And then he's just kind of like laughing at her and he's like, let's go, Violet Sorrendale.
Yes, that's the first time he said her name. And she did not say her name.
No, she didn't. She did not introduce herself
to
him at all. And, she does ask, like, how do you know my name? And then he just says, I forgot how dumb humans are. I kind of forgot how, they're just so dumb. And he's like...
And, I mean, he's right. Humans are dumb.
And then, she's like, well, how can I get on your back? Like, you're just so big.
She doesn't even reach his ankle. And she's like...
Yeah, like... And also, like, how are we even gonna... If we fly over there, you're not even gonna fit in the stadium because you're so big.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that he says... One does not live centuries without being well aware of the space one takes up. Now get on. And it's just like the fact that she's like, he's so big and like, he's not going to fit and I'm sure he doesn't even know. And like, oh my gosh. And then he's like, you're an idiot. Of course I know how big I am because if I didn't, I'd be dumb.
Yeah. Like, why are you calling me dumb?
Yeah. Like, I'm confused about why you're confused currently because I thought we all knew what was happening. And just like the fact that he's like, yeah, I'm not an idiot. Like, I know how big I am.
Yeah.
Like, I know the size that I take up. I know how much room I take up and I know how much room I need. Like,
and then he, actually ends up, like, bowing down for her to get on.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember the line being like, oh, I remember how you got up at the gauntlet. I'm not gonna let you stab me to get on. Like, why would I let you do that?
Yes.
It's just like, no.
He immediately was like, yeah, no. No. That's not happening. I would rather just bend down.
It's easier. It's fine.
It's fine. And then not only that, it's like, I mean, I'm sure that she's like, she at this point is very surprised that he would even bend down because of how prideful.
Yes, dragons are very prideful and arrogant, so it's she's shocked because it's never ever seen that they bow to the will of humans.
Yeah, or even like bow down to like help somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Because, but also like, if he did not, there's no way that she could have gotten on.
Yeah.
Absolutely no way.
No way. No way at all. She would have died. And even if she did stab him, she would have died. Like, to get on, like how she did at the gauntlet.
Yeah.
It just would not have gone well. And so, she gets on him, and then they're flying, and she has no leg strength, and ends up free falling. And that's where that chapter ends.
Yeah. I mean, he does say that his name is Taryn by the end. He says, like, his whole Terranok.
My name is Terranok, son of... I'm not even gonna try.
Yeah, I was like, you go for it, girl. You can read all of those dragons' names, and I will say, I believe in you. Mm-hmm.
I don't even want to try.
I believe in the power of your reading skills, and that you know how to pronounce all of those names.
If I had the audiobook, I could do it.
There you go.
But I can't say his name is Terranok. That's the only part I remember.
His name is Terranok, and that was good.
And he's descended from the cunning lines of all of these things.
Yeah. But yeah, she's free falling through the air, and that's where like the chapter ends as they're flying to, I don't know, I want to call it like at the stadium, but I obviously know it's
field.
Yeah, I was like, I know it's like not like the stadium, but like it's the field, where all of the dragons that are bonded and chose to bond go and submit their names for recording.
Because only the recorder and the writer know the dragons' names.
Yeah, which is very interesting.
Very, very interesting. So then he actually, starting in chapter 15, he grabs her with his claws. Yeah. And it's like, you're making us look bad. Stop it. Yeah. He's like not caring that she's about to die. He's not, you're making us look bad. Like, can you not? Like, you need to stop.
Yeah, which is really interesting because the fact that he did catch her, because the excerpt from Brennan's book on the top.
Would you like to read it?
I was just gonna summarize it.
Oh, yes, please.
Like the summary is like, oh great, a dragon chose you, but that's only the first part of threshing. The actual side, the most challenging side, is getting on that dragon and then staying on it until you get to the field.
Yeah, like you'll fly straight to the ground if you can.
Yeah, I was like, more people die during the flight than probably being burned alive by dragons.
Yeah, and
just of the fall.
Yeah, but as we see a person do fall and they don't get caught.
And they don't get caught, and so the fact that Taryn does catch her
is very interesting.
Is very, very interesting. It just shows how compassionate he is.
Yeah,
which is so fun.
It's so fun, and he puts on this hard facade, but he very much lets his heart guide him. Like, he very much is such a loving guy, and he just lets his heart kind of. Aww. Am I wrong? He really lets his heart guide him.
You're not.
I really love Taryn. And then.
But I also love how sassy he is.
He's so sassy. That
he's just like, you're bleeding, stop it. Just like you're embarrassing us. Like, please stop.
Yeah.
Could you be better?
You highlighted so much.
Well, because, not gonna lie,
he's so good.
He does say a lot of great things.
I really missed him. Like, those first 15 chapters, I was like, I really miss this man. The first 15 were really fun.
They were so fun,
but there's something about Taryn that just, it's so good. So then, he's being a sassy asshole.
Yeah, but I also love that she is like, is every person's dragon a curmudgeon, or is it just mine? Like, is everybody's dragon just as sassy and as rude or upset?
It's just a me thing.
Or is it just so happened to be my dragon?
Yep.
I think that's such a fun line that she has.
And I'm hoping that we end up getting some more character POVs to kind of see different bonds with dragons and stuff. Because obviously these books are written in Violet's POV. She's the main character. So I think it'd be really interesting to see other characters' POVs with their dragons.
Yeah. Through this whole thing, she's really questioning the idea of why he chose her. Yes. She's like, first of all, is everybody's dragon a curmudgeon? But then, really into the idea of I'm trying to hang on. I can't grip. I wish I would have trained harder. And she openly says, I'm just not as strong as other writers. And then, she didn't
think she'd make it that far. She was shocked that she made it to threshing, let alone bonding a dragon, let alone bonding the biggest
dragon that they have there. She says, I'm not as strong as other writers. And then Taryn replies with, I know exactly who you are, Violet Sorengale. And she's just like, I'm sorry. I didn't think I'd make it this far. And he says, I didn't think I would either. So we do have that in common. Yeah. Which I think is so, touching that he is trying his hardest as, a, century-year-old dragon, almost immortal being, to try to relate to her in terms that she might understand. And that he's willing to admit that he didn't know if he would make it either.
He was like, hey, and obviously it gets more into that later in the book, but he struggled. He had a really hard time after certain events.
He really, really struggled. And then, they kind of have a longer, conversation, But it comes down to the end where he is like, okay, we're nearing the field and you need to trust me. And it says, like, he says it in such a way that it's not like you need to trust me. Like, don't worry about it. It's an order.
It's like, you need to trust me.
It's like, you will trust me. You don't need to. You will trust me, which is, I think, like, such a difference between, oh, you need to trust me and you will trust me, I
completely agree.
And she's just still saying, like, why did you choose me? Like, why did you choose me? And he says, because you saved her.
Yeah.
Like, you wanted to save her. And that's
her
why.
referring to the golden dragon.
Yeah, and her referring to the golden dragon.
And also he is holding her on with magic, which, again, is completely unheard of.
Yeah. The fact that he's very much willing to sacrifice
his image.
Yeah.
Like, his social status, his image, and stuff like that for Violet.
Yeah, because, not only did he catch her, he threw her back on and was like, you will trust me, I'm not going to let you fall. Straps her in with magic at that point. And she's still, sitting here questioning why, like, he chose her. And he's like, oh, because you saved her. And then she goes down, like, the list of, like, what dragons want. And she says, well, dragons value strength and cunning and ferocity in their riders. And his response is, please do tell me more about what I should value. Because she's just going off about, like, this is wrong. Like, this is not what people should value. And
like,
blah,
this
blah, blah.
isn't who you should bond.
Yeah, and, like, I'm not who you should bond. And, like, I'm too weak and I'm too this. And he's just like, oh, please tell me more about what I should be valuing. Please, keep going. I love to hear it.
I love him so much. He's honestly so high up in my favorite characters.
Yeah, and, you kind of hear just, like, their, like, little bond area happen.
Yeah. And the golden dragon is following them.
Yes, like, this is following them. And it is so fun.
Yeah, it really is. And then they are the 71st to bond. And they get to the field, and he bows down again for her to get off because her ankle is hurt. She can't jump.
Yeah, and she can't jump off without killing her leg, basically.
Yeah, and all of the other dragons are muttering. Like, they're all like...
Yeah, they're all looking, they're staring, and you can kind of tell that, like, the whole stadium that is there is whispering about them and things like that. And so,
and he tells her, like, hey, like, just ignore it. Like,
yeah, just ignore it.
I chose
it's
you.
Okay. And he does say, you're the smartest of your year, the most cunning. You defended the smallest with ferocity, and strength of courage is more important than any physical strength, since you apparently need to know. Which, I mean, I love that. Like, he does eventually tell her why and gives a little bit more of the explanation of, like, you are so smart, you're cunning, and you defended the smallest with ferocity, and you didn't have the physical prowess to do it, but you still did it because you knew it was right. Yes. And I think, like, that is, in and of itself, shows her character, and then his character, that he saw that in her. Yeah.
Yeah. And then she goes over and talks with the little dragon, the little golden one, and she's like, hey, next time, maybe don't. Like, can you just fly away? Like, don't get yourself into these situations. And she was like, I'm glad you made it, but maybe next time you should fly off. And someone suggests when you save yourself. Like, if someone is telling you to save yourself, maybe you should listen. Like, don't be dumb. Yeah. Don't be a little like, ooh, look at the flowers. And then she blinks and says, maybe I was saving you. And Violet is very confused. And she is like, maybe you shouldn't break dragon law. Yeah, because, you're not supposed to talk to any human that you haven't bonded. And so I think she's like, don't get yourself in trouble. Yeah. Like, thank you for thanking me in a way. Yeah, but also... But, like, please be careful. Like, I don't want to be the reason that you get in trouble. Yeah, and then, she's going, and she's going to approach the list taker, and,
you know, her mother is there because she's a general
Mm-hmm.
and is watching this all unfold and watching her daughter dismount this dragon and can see the list taker going and stops the list taker from saying the dragon's name because she really wants to know if she knows the dragon's name.
Yes, and she, don't say it, not until she does. Because only a dragon and the roll keeper know a dragon's full name, and she's not certain I'm really his. That's exactly what she's implying. Like, I'll be able to hijack Terran. Anger simmers in my veins, overtaking the pain.
Yeah, and, like, the fact that, like, she is just so, like, angry about it. She's like, I can't believe, like, she's gonna do this again. Mm-hmm. Like, she doesn't believe that I could or that I even know this dragon's name, and the fact that she thinks that I'm gonna, like, hijack Terran, like, I'm gonna convince this dragon to like, fly me over here.
Like, here, as a joke, can we just, like, let me hop on your back and we'll make it, like, a whole thing, like, but we don't have to be bonded. Like, it's just for a joke. I think she would have been eaten alive.
Absolutely. That would have never happened. No. And so, you know.
And so then, she does say the mom forced me into the rider's quadrant. She didn't care if I lived or died as I crossed the parapet. The only thing she cares about now is how my flaws might mar her sterling reputation or how my bonding might further her own agenda. Mm-hmm. And now that she's staring at my own dragon without even bothering to look down and see if I'm all right. Fuck her.
Yeah, because it's just like such a powerful thing to be like, yeah, you know, my mom is literally only out for her own agenda. It mm-hmm. was the, oh, you know, I'm going to tarnish her sterling reputation by being too weak. Like, I'm going to die, like, during Parapet. I'm going to die during the Gauntlet. I'm going to die during all these things. And now she's looking at my dragon and being like, wow, what an asset this dragon could be if my daughter, you know, really did bond this dragon.
Yeah.
And then just, like, the idea of, like, you know what, fuck you. Like, I'm not going to be a pawn in your agenda or your scheme or your reputation.
Yeah, and it's also, like, now she's staring at my dragon and she doesn't even look at her. Like, that probably, like, yes. And obviously she grew up with this mom. Like, she knows how she is. This is how she's been mm-hmm. her entire life. But it still hurts. It's like, you can't even, like, glance down and see if I'm okay. Like, I am your kid. Mm-hmm. And that, like... And it's everything I expected, and yet it's still so disappointing.
Yeah, and like
that's a great way to describe that.
Yeah, like, you know, she was like, I was expecting this. She was like, I know this pattern of behavior, this thought process, is not foreign to me.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's still happening is still disappointing. The fact that, you know, she was like, maybe it's like that idea of like, oh, maybe it would be different this time. Mm-hmm. Like, constantly giving, like, your parent or your guardian or your loved one like a second chance over and over and over again when they show the same pattern of behavior and you're still just as disappointed. Yeah, and it's understandable.
Maybe it'll be different this time.
Yeah, maybe it will be different this time.
Yeah. So that happens and she says Terranok, when she like, what is your dragon's name? It's like, oh, it's Terranok. And here she loves this line, so I'm gonna pass the book over even though she has it memorized.
I probably do, yeah. I don't really need to say it because she says it and then Terran just says, the pronunciation could use some work. Like, could you work on, like, how to pronounce my name just a little bit better?
And she didn't even go into the full spiel. It was just Terranok.
Yeah, no. And then just him being like, you should work on the pronunciation of my name better. Okay?
Like, how dare you?
Like, just shorten it to Terran because, fuck, that was horrible.
Yeah.
And, you know, she's just thinking about, you know, she's announcing her name, and then all of a sudden she hears another name pop into her head.
Yeah, and then
by a smaller voice.
Higher pitch voice. Andarna Norum? Something like that. Yeah. I'm so sorry. Andarna Norum or something like that. The sweet high voice of the golden dragon fills my mind. Andarna for short. Mm-hmm. And, you know, obviously, Violet's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like, because it's unheard of to bond two dragons or to have two dragons listed under your name.
Yeah.
And this is the time when, you know, you're supposed to say your name and the dragon that you've bonded.
Yep.
And then she asks Taryn, what do I do?
Yeah. And she's like, oh, like, what do I do? Because the Golden Andarna is like, tell her. And then she's like, Taryn, like, what do I do? And then she's like, tell the roll keeper her name. And then the roll keeper's like, are you good, bro? Like, you need a mender? Like, is everything okay?
Yeah. Because it's taking a while.
Yeah, like, she's like shocked. She's quiet. And it's like, are you about to faint? Like, what's going on? And she turns back to the woman and says, like, oh, and Darna. And the roll keeper's eyes obviously get huge and goes, both dragons. And Violet nods, and then the last line of the chapter is, and all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, which I think is just so fitting, because, you know,
they first really of all, like,
wow. And Darna is a feathertail. Yeah, well, it's unheard of for a feathertail to bond, you know, regardless if it's a baby or not. It's just unheard of for a feathertail to bond ever.
Yeah, because they don't have claws. They're very small. Like, why would they bond? And so it is shocking. And not only is it a feathertail, it's 2 dragons. Like, that is completely unheard of.
Yeah, it's like the biggest dragon, like, reported to be still living in the Vale, and then, you know, one of the smallest ones to ever bond.
Yeah. I remember vividly when I read that chapter, listened to that chapter, all hell broke loose in my head. I was like, what do you mean? Like, I'm confused. Because I honestly predicted either she was going to bond the golden dragon or the big black dragon, because they both did have relevance.
Yeah.
But I was like, it'll probably be the golden one or the black one. Like, I was like, it'll be one of the 2. Really, like, it really did catch me off guard that they answered both.
Yeah, it really did. The fact
that they answered both, that she bonded both.
Yeah, that she bonded both, because honestly, I really
didn't expect it.
I didn't expect it either. I really thought she was just gonna bond the gold dragon, because, you know, when they describe her at, like, the beginning about how the golden dragon is the smallest dragon and how, you know, they just look so weak, and I'm like, well, that's what they say about Violet, so clearly that's going to be her dragon.
And then it was like, oh, the big black dragon is the one that's so legendary.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, she might bond this one, so it's clearly going to be one of the 2, but it really was both. And, I mean, I'm not great at it, but I do pick up on clues like that. And so I was like, I really loved how it really did catch me off guard. Like, it really brought me so much joy. I was like, wow.
Yeah, because, you know, in the shift when they're battling, you're like, oh, well, because, you know, Taryn was the first one to talk to her, then I guess that must be the dragon that she's bonding.
Yeah, like, I really didn't expect it's both.
Yeah.
Like, even as the chapter went on, until she spoke. Like, even when she spoke the first time, I was like, oh, she's just kind of thanking her.
Yeah.
But I was like, that's a little weird. But it was like, oh, she's just thanking her. And then when she said the name, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
How fascinating.
Very, very interesting. It was something new, something different. But I like that she has her two little
I did.
dragons.
I missed both of them. The dynamic between these 3 are phenomenal.
It is so fun to see them.
Fun. And it's like you get someone responding to Violet's thoughts now. And it's fun to see that dynamic of like, why are you thinking like that? Like, you need to stop.
Yes. Exactly.
And so that's really fun. I'm really looking forward to the next chapters. And so the next chapters we'll be covering is 16 through 20. And all hell broke loose. What a way to stop.
Yeah, all hell broke loose.
What a way to end it.
You know.
You'll have to wait till next week to see how that hell was resolved.
Or if it even resolves.
Yeah, what if the whole school just burns because of it?
Yeah, so, you know, we'd like...
The book could just end there.
You never know. So, you know.
We officially end our podcast right there.
Yes, that's it. We're done.
Thank you. No, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed All Hell Broke Loose.
Yes, goodbye. Thank you for watching. And what did the void say to you?